Hey there, gang. It has been a hot second, but guess who's back? It's me. So I don't know exactly how long I am back for. This could very well be one and done. But before I slide silently into the electronic ether, I did owe you at least this one more video because just about the same time I went radio silent, about 5 or 6 months ago, we did cross the 1,000 subscriber mark. So this channel is now, at least theoretically, monetized. Yay. So that's thanks to you, and that means that it is time for the great 1,000 subscriber giveaway contest. So if you like comic books, and most especially if you like free comic books, stick around. We're going to have some fun. Hey there, Bubby. Welcome to Shanghala. My name is Duke, and this is a Shanghala subscriber spectacular, a substacular, if you will. So please do like, share, subscribe, comment away, do all the groovy things. And we're not going to waste a lot of time here. We're going to get right into it. This is going to be run very much like one of the old unboxing videos, in that the books that we'll be giving away all come from my personal collection. So don't get too excited. Those of you who've already entered the contest, you should know this. And I admit right up front, this video is probably, comic books are niche interest anyway. This channel is a super niche interest. and it's really only of any interest at all to those of you who have entered the contest. I mean, I invite all of you, anyone who happens across this, to stick around and have some fun. But really, there's only about 85 of you. This channel now currently has 1,030 subscribers. As I said, we crossed the 1,000 mark about 5 or 6 months ago, just before I kind of stopped making videos for a while there. And I've gained 30 subscribers since then. I'm doing better when I'm not making any content than when I was. But anyway, these books that we're going to be giving away do come from my personal collection. And I've got some 30,000 comic books, but nothing particularly valuable because I'm poor. Obviously, I mean, I'm filming this on an old iPad, so. You can get some idea just looking at the quality of this video, the state of my finances. But I do have a passel of duplicate books. When I run across an auction find, or you buy some books here and there, I do often get duplicates just because I have so many books. So we're going to be giving away some of my duplicates. And again, don't get too excited, because when I have 2 of something, I give away the one that's in the lower condition. So this is really just kind of a token thank you for those of you who stuck it out for about the 3 years it took to get to 1,000 subscribers. And there were a couple of times in that where I was gone for months at a time. So it wasn't really like 3 straight years. It was probably maybe 2 years in all, if you count the actual time I was making content. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to unbox these boxes, and I've got 2 of them here that you saw in the kind of the preview, but I've got 4. But you know what? I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you, and I know some of you have begged to see this, and I have always resisted doing it. But since this is a Shanghala subscriber spectacular, let's go ahead and do it. I'm going to show you the Sanctum Sanctorum. First off, I'll have to, as I'm getting away from the iPad, I'm going to have to yell a little louder, but there's the tabletop where I do the recording. And here is the Sanctum Sanctorum. And as you can see, I am frankly a little bit embarrassed in the state of the condition I have allowed this to get into over the last several years. There's my drawing table. I haven't actually drawn anything yet for some 20 years or so. So yeah, here's everything. So occasionally I run across some duplicates, and I set those aside to be there's. I hate that cat. I wish that cat would just die. My wife won't let me kill it. So there you go. Like I said, I'm embarrassed at the state of this room. But and by the way, if any of you know anything about drywall, how to repair or replace, let me know. Ring me up. I could use some help. Got some issues over here as well. That I don't think is good. I got a little leak or something. So yeah, this whole This whole room could get waterlogged at any moment, so take these books while you can get them. But anyway, we are giving away some duplicates, and the deal is that all the issue numbers will add up to 1,000. So out of 1,030 subscribers, about 85 of you actually entered the contest while it was running. So you got pretty good odds, and I think only about less than 10 of you had more than 20 entries. So some of you have really good odds. Let's not waste any time, though, because as I say, we'll have to go through these boxes. Like I said, I thought I had 4. I can't find 2 of them. I've got the 2. That should be plenty to get us to what we need. And I haven't been in these boxes for a couple of years, so this is going to be as much a surprise for me as it is for you. But let us first off start. Give me just a second to get situated. Hope I've got that place so you can see it. We're going to start with this. My new comic books I get from DCBS, and for some reason, this was a free comic book edition thing that they gave me 2 of. So guess what? You get 1 of them. So there we go, 1 plus, and that's going to be the first book. Now let's break into here. And again, I don't know what I'm going to find. Oh, there you go. That's something fun. That is something that... Oh, and I've got 2 of them. So, you see, I don't want to give away too many number 1s. I don't want to give you 1,000 books because, that's going to run something in postage. And the postage is on me. I'm going to have to find a few books here that are in the 3 or 4 or 500 issue number range, hopefully. But since I've got 2 of these, let's go ahead and give you 1. And we'll set this other one aside. Let's hang on to number 2 as well. We got a lot of books to go through here, so you'll see a lot of things that won't be in the prize package. We'll review at the end what will actually be in the package. I got another question for you too, by the way. I might, because we're going to now is the drive for 5, right? The drive for 5,000. So we're going to renew the contest. It's going to be the same deal. It'll be issue numbers adding up to 5,000 this time. And for those of you who are actually watching to this point, keep your eyes peeled. I'll put a hashtag on the screen. Leave that in the comments, either as part of your regular comment or all by itself, and you will get 10 entries into the Drive for 5 contest. So some of these will go into that Drive for 5. But my question to you is, if I were to try and sell some books on eBay to try and raise money for this channel, to get an actual camera, an actual microphone, some other things, or to actually buy books to unbox, because as the regulars know, I no longer work where I was working before, where I had that great supply of comic books that I could unbox and show you. So now we're kind of dealing with my own personal books, which means that the unboxing videos are kind of sadly going to go away, if not completely to a large extent, and we're going to have to find some new content for this channel, and we'll talk about that after we get through the prize pack here and pick the winner. We'll talk about the future of the channel. Those of you who stick around, like both of you. We'll talk about that. So anyway, like some of these books, would you buy them on eBay to help raise some money for this channel? Like I said, to invest in, because I know there's 2 ways of looking at it. Young Ripper, Eric July, has always said, if you want to be a serious YouTuber, you have to invest in the very best equipment you can manage. Whereas Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers has always said that he just started with a $60 camera that he's still using. So I guess there's 2 ways of looking at it. But if I were to try and sell some of these books to raise a little money, let me know in the comments. Would you bid? Would you be up for that? Or are these the kind of things you're only going to take if you can get them for free? So those we're going to set aside. Hey, Plastic Man, number 11. That was, I believe, the first book of the rebooted series. DC tried to revive Plastic Man in the 60s. I think it lasted 10 issues. And then they came back with new adventures. Probably want to hang on to that one if I can. Here's a power pack, though. Just as with these Atlas comics, if you're not aware of them, you should see them. Oh, I forgot to add that Atlas. 1 plus. Let's throw in a power pack. If you're not familiar with power pack, you really should have at least 1. Let's give you that one. 24. So now we're up to 26. Primal Force, Red Tornado. I love that this series starred Red Tornado, but I think we'll set that one aside. Let's give you a Quantum Leap, though. Hey, there's a channel called The Target Audience. They are going through and reviewing every Star Trek episode. They've done the original series already and the animated series, and now they're into the movies. But they are also simultaneously doing reaction videos, first time watching of Quantum Leap. So I don't know if either one of those guys is watching. Probably not. But if they are, here's a quantum leap that I think you should have. That's something a little different. So let's add that in. We're up to 31. The Ray, we'll set that one aside. Not because I want to sell it or maybe save it for the 5,000. Just because some of this stuff is pretty common that you probably aren't going to want. So let's try and make a package that is, stuff you might actually want. Although there's probably one of you out there is going, oh man, I want those. I collect the Ray. Ravage 2099. Number 3. Is that a Keith Giffen cover? That looks like Giffen. Let's set that one aside. Here's Robin 3, Cry for the Huntress. Again, I don't want to do all first issues. I'm just blowing by stuff here. Just blowing by it. Not even giving it to you. All right, ROM. You must know ROM. And by that I mean if you don't know ROM, you must. I'm looking for the original toy if you ever see one. That's ROM number 2, though. That's a pretty low number. That one's pretty... Well, screw it. Let's give you a ROM. There's 2. And... which one is this? Oh, that's issue 1. Let's hold on to that. Sandman Mystery Theater. But anyway, ROM was a fun series by Bill Mantlo, about concurrent when he was doing Micronauts. Again, based on a toy. I think it was a Hasbro toy. And I think it's another one of those things that because of licensing issues, it's pretty hard to get like a trade paperback of the series. They might have done one. I'm not sure. I know they've never been able to get one out for Micronauts because of rights issues with the toy company. But we're going to give you that ROM. Satan 6, let's hold on to that just because that's another first issue. So many first issues. Secret Weapons number 1. Secret Defenders number 6. Let's give you a Secret Origins number 13. You want to see the secret origin of Nightwing and Johnny Thunder? I think you do. Now we're up to 46. Ugh. Tape stuck together. Animal Man and Man Bat. Well, hold on to that one. Here's Shade, the Changing Man. Have I got some more shades in here? What do we got here? We got 4, 6. We got 2 of 6, so we'll give you a 6. Boom. That's up to 52. Doom, doom, doom. Some of you are already going, I don't want this prize package. Which is, oh, look, we got 2 of that as well, so we'll give you one of those. That means I actually have 3 of them, because one of them is in that big mess you just saw. Shadow number 10. That's what I'm going to hang on to, just because that one might be worth something. Unless, well, I mean, it might be worth selling. I don't know. Get a little quiet here. I got to remember that with the iPad, I have to speak up. Shazam 29. Oh, is that? That's not the second appearance of Black Adam. No, that's Ibeck. I'm going to give you this one. Well, here's a question. Do you want stuff that's really kind of low grade? I feel like you should experience this 70s Shazam revival with the great Kurt Schaffenberger on the art. But you can see it's got a great big split right here, and this bottom staple is loose. But as I said, it's a token thank you, so nothing I'm giving you is super valuable, but it's just stuff to experience if you've never seen it or had it before. So we're going to do that. We're going to go with 29. Whoops. Let's go 9, 20. There we go, 90. I'll hang on to that. Showcase, more showcase. Skull. Now, I'm going to give you some skulls, even though these are low issue numbers. This was several years ago. I ran across an auction that had like a bunch of duplicate numbers of Skull. And it allowed me to complete the condition, but I ended up with a whole shit ton of stuff left over. So, which ones have we got duplicates of? There's 5. So we got duplicates of 8. So let's give you an 8. Boom. 8. See, at least one of these will be in the 5,000 package. No price variance though, unfortunately. Look at that. Whole freaking bunch of 8s. But like I said, at the time, I needed an 8. I'm kind of full up on Skull number 8 at the moment. Tempted to give you 2. Is that all 8? It is. Oh, shoot, I forgot I had that many of them. Oh well. I got rid of one of them. Look at that. Poor old Captain Marvel is just completely bowled over by how useless all those number 8s were. Uh-huh. He's not going to stand up now, is he? That's drunk Captain Marvel. All right. He might not even be on screen anymore for all I know. But we'll keep plugging away. Sleepwalker number 6. Do you want a Sleepwalker? Probably not. You should have at least one, though. We got 2 of any of those? Yeah. Let's keep them both. You probably don't want those. Solo Avengers 7, 8. I need some high issue numbers, or this is going to be a big package. 9 and Hellcat. Hawkeye and Hellcat. Solar, Man of the Atom, number 22. That's the only one of that I got. Oh, here we go. Spectacular Spider-Man, issue number 200. It looks to be in pretty decent shape. Let's give you that. 200. Boom! That shot us up there. Stalker, that's by Steve Ditko and Paul Levitz. Let's give you that one. That's fun. That's a nice 1970s book. Starman, sort of the forgotten Starman. Let's give you that as well. Strange Adventures. Nice reprint book here. A little dirty though. Got some foxing going on. But what the heck? Boom, boom. Plus. Oh, we passed the 500 mark. Strange Sports Stories. I think I'll hang on to that one. Just because I'm cheap. Strike Force Morituri. These, you can't even find these in dollar bins. They don't even sell for $1. I almost knocked over Captain Marvel again. Here's a fun one. Don't say I didn't give you anything super cool. This is the first appearance of B-Boy. I think it's also his only appearance, but it's also a fairly early appearance of Lana Lang as Insect Queen. But let's give you that. I probably don't want to give you a ton of Superboys, right? I think one will give you sort of the feel for it. Some more Superboys. Oh, but with a new Legion saga, so that would give you a sense of what the Legion was like at that time. So that'd be fun, right? That'd be fun. But do you want 2 Superboys? Oh, hell, why not? 184 plus. Oh, we're up to 896. I'm not even going to get out of this first box. All right, let's skip all these Supermans, just because. Everybody's got a ton of these. Look, I got 2 of them. What is that? Is that 500? So we can't even fit in a 500 right now. Man of Steel 71. Oh, you got to have a Jimmy. You got to have a Jimmy Olsen. Let's go ahead and give you that one right there on top. Again, Jimmy is something that if you haven't experienced it, you really need to. You really need to. You won't really have a full sense of what comic book collecting is all about until you experience some Silver Age Jimmy Olsen. Just the wackiness and the kookiness. See a lot of low grades here. Jimmy Olsen was something that during the 5 years I worked for that company, 4 or 5, something like that, we could not get rid of Jimmy Olsen's. They just would not sell. And so a lot of them ended up in the dollar box for the store. And I love Jimmy Olsen. So I'd go in and grab a bunch. And then what would happen is that I'd end up with one that was in a little better condition than the one I already bought. Partly on purpose, because I knew the first one I bought was kind of junk. But also because I would forget what I already had. Oh, this is a fun cover. Don Rickles, though. But I only have about 44 issue numbers left. So we'll have to save that for the great 5,000. That's so random, Don Rickles. I got 2 of them, too. Oh, well, too late. You'll have to enter the 5,000 subscriber contest if you want that one. Here's just going to be all Jimmy the rest of the way. I know I got a ton of Jimmy, and I still need some. Well, I need a lot of issues to complete the early part of the run, but towards the end, like, I don't know, issue 80 or so on, I still need about a dozen issues. Doo, 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 doo. And then these later Jimmies. Look at those pants. Have some groovy, tight bell-bottom striped slacks. That's look at that belt buckle. My goodness. So Jimmies from this era we couldn't sell at all. So I'm pretty sure most of these Jimmies, again, came from the dollar boxes of the retail store of the company that I worked for that fueled all of those previous unboxing videos. A lot of these stuff in these duplicates I've had for years and years and years and years. From my own private auction purchases, eBay, and going to auctions and stuff. Super Patriot 2 and 3. And Supreme number 6. I don't know. I don't feel like I really want to burden you with those. I probably should. You should have a sense of what early Image was like as well, if you don't already. 1 second, I gotta go grab the other box. Ooh. Oh, this is cool. This is cool. Very, very cool. I remember this just blowing my socks off as a kid. This would have been, what, about 1977? 35-cent cover price. That's my jam. That's my personal golden age. So I would have been probably about 9 when this came out, maybe 10. And I remember being like, my God, that's Captain America. But it's not. But really it was. The freedom fighters in this issue and the next one fought this team called the Crusaders, because Archie wasn't using that name at the time, so they could get away with it. That were kind of Ursat's stand-ins for the Invaders, if you know who they are. So you had Captain America, and there was this guy called Barracuda, who was, stand-in for Submariner. I forget who the Torch stand-in was. And then at the same time, in an issue of Invaders, about the same time, they fought a group, I forget what that group's name was, that were stand-ins for the freedom fighters. Like there was this guy called the Spirit of 76 who was Uncle Sam. And I forget who all the other ones were, but I mean, you can look that up. But that was fun. It was kind of an unofficial crossover. So that's super cool. I'm going to give you that one. So that's, 39 to go. Oh, here's an old, it's beat up though. Super beat up. That was definitely a dollar box find. I feel like I want to give you this stuff, but I got to find out what issue number it is. Do we even have... It's super beat up, but... Oh, it's a number 4. Gene Autry's Champion, number 4. There you go. Boom. Plus. Generation X, who cares? Ghost Manor, there's some cool Steve Ditko art. 41, though. You should have a Charlton book, though, I feel like. 41. Oh, that's 1010. That's no good, just as we come to Ghost Rider 4. Got to be something wrong with that. I think it's missing pages or something. And a Ghost Rider 25. So I guess I will allow myself to go a little over. Just because you're my pals. Just because I love you guys. And so there's a whole, 9/10 of the second box we didn't even get into. So again, you'll have to stick around for the great 5,000 subscriber giveaway, the Drive for 5. And so here's what we're giving away to one lucky subscriber. Again, it is Ghost Manor number 41. It's kind of low grade, but it's some cool Steve Ditko art. And again, you must know your Charlton books if you're going to be a true, tried and true comic book collector. Here's Gene Autry's Champion number 4 from, when is this? Probably early 50s. It's a little beat up. 1952. Freedom Fighters number 9 from 1977 or so. Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen number 60. Superboy number 127. Strange Adventures number 244. Starman number 39. Stalker number 4. Spectacular Spider-Man number 200. That's one I probably should have hung on to, but too late now. Too late now. Skull the Slayer number 8. Shazam number 29. Again, it's a low grade, but, it's free. What are you going to do? Well, you can say no, as a matter of fact, actually. So there's Shade the Changing Man number 9 and number 6. Secret Origins number 10. ROM number 2. Quantum Leap number 5. Power Pack number 24, Phoenix, number 1, and We Are Legends Special Edition number 1. So those are free, and those are going out to you from me. Now let's find out who is going to get them. Okay, and here we are on the list of entrants for the contest. As you can see, 82 people in total. I think I said 85 earlier, but 82 individuals entered the contest, a total of 555 entries. Now, I say 82 because some of these folks, like Orangi Migure, I hope I said that correctly, and Shadowcast.org, I think are the same person. Patty's Projects and Purple Patty, I think, are the same person. The contest ran long enough that some people changed their names. And at one point, YouTube started adding numbers to the end of names, but I assume it's the same person. So there could be some foobars going forward. Could be a foobar right now with the sound. I do have a Yeti Blue Nano microphone that I've hooked up for this part. And so either the sound quality just dramatically increased, or it might have gone right in the toilet. I might have this hooked up wrong, and you're just listening through the microphone on the laptop. But anyway, here are all of the entrants. You can see who entered and how many times. And as I said, only a few people. You know, out of the 82, only, 57 entered more than once. So there they go. There they go by. And rather than, for example, giving Patty, entries 1 through 25, I gave, everybody 1, then all of the ones who had 2 entries, then all the ones with 3, all the ones with 4, and so on. So you can see there are all of the entries through 555. So what we're going to do now, skip over to the random number generator. I have already set it up for 1 to 555. Should be inclusive. 10 was there by default. And here's what we're going to do. Because as we alluded to earlier, some folks may not want the books that I picked out, and that's totally okay. If you're just not into what I picked out, either because of content or condition or anything like that, that's cool. Don't let me force you to take something you don't want. So, and the other thing too is that because of the time I've been away, a lot of people might have just forgotten about this channel. So we're going to do, normally we do a couple of runner-ups. I think we're going to do 4 runner-ups. We'll do the grand prize winner and 4 runner-ups. We'll do the runner-ups first and work backwards to the grand prize winner. And what will happen is I'll give it a couple of weeks. And if the grand prize winner, either I can't get a hold of that person or that person declines, we'll go to the second, a couple of weeks to the third, a couple of weeks to the fourth. Yeah, no, it'd be first runner-up, second runner-up, third runner-up, fourth runner-up. So if you are first through fourth runner-up, you didn't win anything unless everybody in front of you declines, in which case, hooray, you're getting something nobody wants. But I think that's a good little mix there of some different interesting things. I mean, if you hoping I was going to send you something that you could flip, too bad, so sad. But if you're looking for some different things to read, to experience, for everything that comic books have to offer and have had to offer over the years, there should be some fun experiences in there for you. So let us go first. Fourth runner-up will be number 150. Number 150, Anthony Purdue. And a big thank you to Anthony Purdue. All right. Third runner-up, 155. That wasn't much of a different number, was it? 155 was Yeslabel. Probably doing this like totally ass backwards. And a lot of you are like, this is not very sophisticated at all. Well, welcome to my world. 247. Hey, there's the magic number. Adventure Comics number 247. Who is 247? St. Louis Ron is our second runner-up. Our first runner-up will be 548. 548. That should be over here somewhere. Boom. Richard Veith. So, Richard, those books are yours. If the next person declines, and that next person is going to be number 62. And the grand prize winner was Dustin Reynolds with just a single entry. Can you believe that? Dustin's like, hooray, who are you again? So I will try and get a hold of Dustin. If I can't reach him in a couple of weeks, or if he declines, it goes to Richard Veith. If Richard doesn't want him, St. Louis Ron. If St. Louis Ron doesn't want him, Yeslabel. And if Yeslabel doesn't want them, then Anthony Perdue, who I'm pretty sure will accept them. So there you go. What do you think of that? So there you go. That's the contest. Now let's spend a moment just talking about the direction of this channel. And as I say, this is for everyone's bailed by now. Even Dustin's like, thank you very much, out to lunch. But for the few of you who are still sticking around, let's talk about the direction, the future of this channel. I do have a few more unboxing videos. I have a couple of recent auction wins of my own online, and I did find a couple of videos that I had filmed back when I was doing them on the regular, but never got posted. So I've got, that's 7 or 8 unboxing videos, the content you're familiar with from this channel. But after that, it's like, what am I going to do? So I think I'm going to, and I'm this is as much asking you as telling you. Like I'm inviting your feedback to let me know what kind of content you would like on this channel. I filled the request of showing you the Sanctum Sanctorum here. That was the biggest request I got. Show us your comic book room. Well, there it was. As embarrassing, as awful as it is to look at, I really need to get this room into shape. It just fell apart in the past several years. But beyond that, and the unboxing videos that I have left that I can do, I think I'll be doing some comic book reviews in different flavors. I'll be doing them as retro reviews, older books, new reviews of newer books. But here's the thing, because I get my new books through Discount Comic Book Services, mail order, the nearest actual comic book shop is about a 2-hour drive from my house. So, 2 hours each way. I'm not driving 4 hours, once a week to get my comic books. Just, especially when that shop doesn't offer any kind of discount at all, even for volume purchases. So I'm getting them through the mail. But that means that I get them like at the very soonest a couple of weeks after they've come out. Some of them will be out a month, month and a half by the time I get them and can review them. So do you have any interest at all in a review of a new comic book that's a month old? Or is that something you just don't want? I have noticed there are very few people doing comic book reviews anymore. Of new comics. It doesn't seem to be something that generates a lot of interest. It's just something I'm sort of interested in doing, but why do it if nobody wants to watch it? So let me know. I expect there would be some interest in the retro reviews, the more tongue-in-cheek look at the older books. The other thing I'm thinking of doing is what I call comic book battles, where I'll review a newer book and then a similar older book. Like, say, if the newest issue of Superman has him battling Toyman, I might do an older issue with like an early appearance of the Toyman, or maybe even his first appearance, and compare and contrast those two books. That's something I'm interested in doing. And then another possible type of review would be something I'm calling the run of things, which would be reviewing not just an individual issue in depth, but more of a overview of a run. Rather, it's a complete shorter run series or a particular arc, whether it's a story arc or a creator arc, like maybe the John Byrne run on Fantastic Four, or just a particular Death in the Family storyline of Batman, but multiple issues that are linked somehow together of a particular series. So let me know if any of those are things you would be interested in. I'm also thinking of doing kind of reaction videos, what I'm calling the Cosmic Treadmill playlist. Cosmic Treadmill, we run round and round and round, don't get anywhere. It's what it's like arguing with other people on YouTube, but reacting to other people's content, comic book related, on YouTube. And then also doing what I'm calling thought bubbles, which would just be my own thoughts on the industry and current news and events within the industry. So if you like channels like Perch or Thinking Critical, it would be very much like that. Probably more like Perch, because I have about a 40-minute drive to my new job. And where I'm driving a bus, that's not a job I can do from home. The bus riders don't come to your house. You have to actually go to them. So I get about a 40-minute drive to where I pick up the bus, and then I'm on the road all day. But during that 40 minutes, at some time in the car, I can record some content, some thoughts on news and events, and so it'd be very much like Perch. I understand he does all of his recordings in the vehicle while he's driving hither and yon. So it'd be very much like that. And is that something that you are interested in? What other type of comic book? One other thing I'm thinking of is something I'm calling First and 10, where it would be the first 10 of something in the industry, like the first 10 DC Comics superheroes, the first 10 patriotic superheroes, the first 10 comic book publishers, something like that. And then also I'm thinking of maybe doing an overview of different defunct comic book publishers like Fiction House, Quality, things like that. Maybe that's something you would be interested in. Also, something I'm thinking of calling panelology, which if you're not familiar, that's a word that means, comic book collector. It's a fancy way of saying comic book collector or panelologist. Talk about the different comic book ages, at least, and then other, bits of collecting. I might still do grading videos because as I get this room back into order, there's a lot of stuff that I don't have cataloged, and so I'll need to grade those books. So maybe I'll do some grading videos as well. But beyond that, what other kind of content, if any? What of what I've already mentioned flips your trigger or not? What other types of things might you like to see that you think might be within my abilities? don't don't ask me for anything too complicated. But beyond that, just thank you to everybody that was along for the ride to this point. I invite you to stick around. I'm going to try and stick with it. A lot has changed recently. Just not just that I no longer work for a company that deals in comic books, but I got another full-time job with a full-time commute. Got my own health issues, my wife's health issues. So I'm kind of a full-time caretaker, and so it hasn't left a lot of time to make videos. But I'm going to make a concerted effort to make time, not just to wait for a good opportunity, but just to, even though I got to do it in the middle of the night, because it's just fun. It's, comic books are my joy, and, sharing that with others is just something fun. It makes life worth living. So I do invite you to, please do stick around and comment. Let me know what other types of things you might like to see, if anything. And yeah, let me know how things go from here on out, and we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I'm going to try and not disappear for 6 months at a time again. Can't promise I'm going to do videos every week or every day, but it'd be pretty heavy at first as I process those videos that I had recorded but never got around to. But then it will dry up to maybe 1 or 2 videos a week, probably at max. I don't know. But anyway, thank you. And for those of you who are still listening, let's give you a second entry into the drive for 5. You'll see a hashtag on your screen. I don't even know as I say this what it's going to be. But you leave that hashtag as well. I'll give you another 10 entries. So you could start off with 20 entries. If you got the last one plus this one, I'll give you 20 entries into that drive for 5, where we will give away issue numbers totaling 5,000. So it'll be about 5 times the stack you just saw. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. And until next time, goodbye, good luck, and please be good to each other.